Hello, welcome back to Wine on the Word. I'm Peter Johnson, pastor here at St. Andrew, and it's good to join you again in your small groups wherever you may be. The theme of my talk here for you to discuss here in a little bit is blessed to be a blessing. And this is our theme here during the season of Lent that began just last night with our Ash Wednesday services, and will continue to 40 days, of course, all the way heading into Holy Week here in 40 days. But I think this theme, blessed to be a blessing, of course, is a 365 deal, not such a 40-day deal, but being blessed by God, being blessed by others, and how then we in turn then move outward in our motion to be a blessing toward other people, to be people who live out their faith in daily life is a year-round task and Christian responsibility and privilege. So the tack I'm going to take on this blessed to be a blessing relates to a meeting I had last week with an old friend of mine. So I would consider my old friend to be one of the mentors in my earlier life, and I would say faith development here as well. He and my dad were great friends, having gone through a seminary together and served in their first congregations in Texas, miles apart, but still they were very good friends. And he has become also a good friend of mine as well, and a mentor. And how important it was in those early days of life and circumstance to be close to him. Over the years, of course, life has gotten busy. Michelle and I have moved around, so have they, and so we'd lost touch a little bit. But time came here this fall where I reached out to him, and we scheduled a coffee together, and we came together, and there we went again, back into these old routines of friendship, of mentorship, of talking about the things that are important about life and vocation. And I left that meeting with a new sense of purpose, kind of a new understanding of self. And he, again, did his thing. He mentored me and showed me some good and great encouragement. I wonder if there are people like that in your life who you get together with on a monthly basis for coffee. Or maybe you can think of people in the past who maybe you enjoyed and maybe need to reconnect with again, kind of like my experience with him. I talked with his wife then too, who's also a longtime friend as well, and she reminded me that not only was it good for me to connect with him, but how good it was for him to connect with me. So it's one of those invitations then, and you'll be talking about this in your small groups, about people who have been influential for you, that have provided a kind of a grounding for yourself, a centering for yourself. You find a strengthening of your inner core. And I'm not talking about muscle, I'm talking about your own sense of value, your own sense of identity. There are people who do that for us. And they are, according to the theme of my video here today, blessings. They're blessings, people who come into our lives. Sometimes we don't even know they're there. Sometimes they're momentary, spontaneous kinds of events that are blessings for us. And sometimes they're these long-term relationships that continue to give and give and give. So in your small groups, maybe you can share too some relationships that you've had with people in your past that have been blessings. But of course, as Christian people and as people of faith, we also turn the table a bit on our understanding of life, because with God, it's not meant to just stop with us that we are blessed by God. We're blessed by people in our lives. Our responsibility, our privilege is to turn around and be blessing then to others. And I want to invite you to think out loud then with your group too about how you have perhaps taken some people under your wing in the past. Was there a neighborhood boy that needed some attention or some extra love in a particular time? Are you involved in a mentoring process of college students at your work, for instance, or what have you? Sometimes, though, I also think that those manufactured opportunities to be mentors aren't so simple. They're maybe more programmatic, and sometimes I think the lesser orchestrated events. That are more spontaneous events are ways that we bolster other people in their lives. And so I wonder if you might think of some things too where maybe we didn't even think that we were blessing someone by being who we were with them. But it could be that even later on you would find out, or you would never find out, that you were a blessing to someone the way that you helped to encourage and build them up. Maybe think about Paul writing in the book of Hebrews, as I draw a little bit of these motions and feelings from the Bible. Hebrews chapter 10 is what I'm referring to as I look for it here now. Paul, he is, of course, writing to his flock, his people, and he writes, let us hold fast, in verse 23, let us hold fast to the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who has promised is faithful. And let us consider how we provoke one another to love and good works. Let us consider how we provoke one another to love and good works. Build people up, strengthen people for what they are and what they are doing. And it continues in verse 25, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. There are some real words of encouragement, to be mentors, to be community, to be with other people, to encourage them. And I really do think that a blessing that we have received, can become a blessing to other people as we seek to build people up. So in conclusion, I have another quote here from Henri-Frederic Amiel. He's a Swiss philosopher of the 1800s, for what that's worth. But he wrote these words, if I want to give him full credit for it. He wrote these words, life is short. Life is short. We don't have much time to gladden the hearts of those who walk this way with us. So be swift to love and make haste to be kind. Not bad. So as you think about living your life out during the season of Lent, 40 days of Lent, or even the next 365 days and beyond, think about that quote that we'll put on the screen here for you as well. Life is short. We don't have much time to gladden the hearts of those who walk this way with us. We don't have much time. So be swift to love and make haste to be kind. Build up those around you, because I think that's being the people of God, people of faith, in community together. So thanks for joining me. I hope you have good discussion with the following questions.